I geoed up from the forums, and today I want to just share a little bit my other love, hobby, whatever you want, and that's making coffee. And I actually roast coffee too, but I'll do that in another video if people found this interesting. And I'm actually going to brew me a cup of coffee for my wife. I normally use this. This is really quick and easy. It's called a mocha pot. It goes on top of the stove. Today I want to do a little bit different. I don't like coffee machine coffee. I mean, it's alright, but it really doesn't give it the full flavor of coffee. So I want to utilize it as my vessel to brew coffee, and I'll show you as I'll explain what it makes it a little bit different. First, core ingredient is coffee. I'm making about 10 ounces, 300 milliliters of coffee. I'm using 16 grams coffee beans. This is beans I roasted about last week. It's an African blend I have of Kenya and Rwanda, but that's that. I'm going to have to grind it. Important thing, if you really love coffee, is to grind it right before you brew it. I'm going to use this manual one because I like it. It's easier to get stuff out and grinds it consistently. So as I grind that, the reason I don't like coffee maker brewing is that coffee makers generally don't let the water get to the proper temperature, and it just sort of forces the extraction. So you either get a bitter taste or you lose a lot of the flavors. There's different methods. I don't know if you saw like French presses and pour overs, where that's where people pour over a cone or a cone-shaped filter and let it drip gradually, where they basically a manual coffee maker, which you would be the brewer. Another method that I like, which I'm doing here, it's called full immersion. It's actually where you pour the water over the coffee and let it soak inside it. If you're familiar with a French press or anything, that's another method that utilizes full immersion. And we let it soak for a little while here. And so what you need is a coffee maker, and usually a smaller coffee maker that's a 4-cup coffee maker, and that works as well. This is a 10-cup. We're actually not going to utilize all the water because we're only utilizing 300 milliliters, and we're just utilizing the inside of where you actually put either your paper filter or your screen filter in. And you'll be doing this entire thing without anything under it, because the trick is, it's the method whenever you put the coffee pot under, it pushes it up and it opens it and lets it drain. But we're going to keep it closed during the whole time. So let me get my timer ready. We're going to be doing this. The total time should be just a little over 4 minutes. So we're going to have the soak time first. So this is the ground coffee. It's the typical grind that you see, like Folgers usually have. That's like drip grind. I'm going to just dump it in here, 16 grams, fully in here. I got my pot of water, my kettle already preheated to a good temperature. And I already know it fits about 300 milliliters. If you don't know, then you have to measure your milliliters and either microwave it, the water, to the temperature you want. Just pour it in there evenly up to the point. You don't want to overfill it. Okay, that's about 300 milliliters. That bubbling that you see, the little frothy thing, that's actually, since the roast is fresh, it's called blooming, and it's extracting the flavors. Once you pour it in there, you want to get that top part, make sure everything's soaked. I want to start my timer, my 3-minute timer, because once it gets water in it, the extracting, it's getting all those flavors. Okay, I got it all stirred up. Now we're just going to wait. I want to cut the video to the point right before the 3 minutes is over with, but I just close this up, get it ready for when the timer goes off, and then I'll show you the next step. So I'll be back in it. Alright, we got about 20 more seconds. We set the timer for 3 minutes that it's going to be soaking, and around a little over 4 minutes is the ideal time, but you have to count for the time that it's going to be draining. So that's why he said about 3 minutes. All right, we got 10, 9, 8. Okay, at this time, this is when you put your coffee pot in, and if you look in here, it's going to push that up, and it's dumping out all that water that you have stored inside your this top part of the coffee maker. So you're limited to what could hold in here, because it's not like if you filled up the whole coffee machine itself, because it's constantly shooting water through. You want that, you only have enough room for 300 milliliters rather, unless you have a different type of coffee maker. And they actually make coffee makers where you can control how long it sits in there, but you know, I don't have it. All right, let's pour this coffee in. There you go. And I don't know if you could see, it's kind of hard. You see some of the oils from a fresh beans with that type of screen filter and not a paper filter. Paper filters take out all the oils and everything that aid in the aroma and the taste of the coffee. So this has little bits of oil, but there's no sediment in it, no coffee grounds in it, because it was we did have some kind of filter. So hope you enjoyed this. If you're interested, I have a lot more to share, a lot more gadgets and everything, and talk more about the coffee that I roast. Talk to you later on the forums. Peace.